You want your background to be like just me rummaging around.
Whatever. I'm down for the creative process.
So let's get this poppin'. I haven't been on here in a while, and I just had the perfect opportunity to do so today, and it feels so appropriate to just ride this like positive wave of energy. And so tomorrow begins a 6-day breathwork seminar here at Ritual Wellness Space, facilitated by Alva Ways and Dr. Judith Kravitz, the founder of Transformational Breath. And this is something that we've been trying to bring here for a while, and it's finally culminating. And I'm so excited because I get to participate in 6 days of breath, of like conscious transformational breath work. And if you've ever done this, you know, well, how transformational it can be. And it's really been that for me. I've been doing this for about over a year now. And this really feels like me, like it feels like a next step. I've been able to facilitate a little bit more in collaboration with Alva. I've been wanting to make hypnotherapy and this subconscious work really accessible to people. I want to normalize this conversation around consciousness and breath and making empowered choices for ourselves. And I'm getting distracted. This is why I shuffle the cards, because it helps guide this conversation. It helps me articulate what I want to convey to you, because so much of my experience is felt, it's intuitive, and I feel my emotions deeply in my body. I have an intuitive approach to the work that I do because that's how I experience the world around me. I feel my emotions deeply in my body. I feel it in my like womb. I feel resonance. I'm trying to like make more conscious moves in my life, more conscious decisions from a place of resonance of what really is aligned for me, what brings me satisfaction. And on this journey, my journey with hypnotherapy and becoming this mindset coach and therapist is to help me use these intuitive gifts and offer that perspective while having a very practical framework to do so. Okay, so breath work. Very excited about this journey to breath, and it kind of feels like a new chapter opening. And I feel so excited about it. I feel every time I get to be in this space where I'm facilitating breath, I'm learning about breath patterns, and I'm observing that in a client, someone that comes to our groups, and I get to see that shift and that change and that like those aha moments that come with breathing. This was kind of a breakthrough in a recent group session. Is, you know, someone said before they came to these classes and had this kind of experience with transformational breath and mindset work, like they breathed for the first time, and they really had to see, you know, they were, when you're in that kind of situation and you're actually having a full breath for maybe the first time consciously in a very long time, that gives you perspective, right, of the time that you've spent living in fight or flight and you didn't even know. And that's a very jarring realization, but man, is it liberating. Life begins now as you take that full conscious breath. And breath work is so spiritual, I think, in nature. I think breath is that. And I feel the world opening up. So I'm excited, and I want to shuffle cards for the collective, kind of as I like sit at this threshold, preparing to start that journey tomorrow, which is really exciting. And it's gonna happen here. Like, I could cry. so much life, so much joy, so much growth. Like it's just moments like this that make me realize like the things that I want are far from me. I'm in my purpose right now. And the more that I get to participate in those things, just things continuously become more clear and align beautifully. And I think we all deserve a message to help us feel aligned, recognize that we're in alignment. I'm ready for this change. I'm ready for something new, something different, something just for everything to feel really good in alignment. So let's call in a message for the collective, for confidence, clarity, and calm. What message do we need to receive to align with this? I'm laughing because sometimes I say like the only way I think that I'll really be able to rest is if someone just buries me in earth and leaves me there to decompose, and not like in like a I want to die like death way, but like my just need the earth to replenish me at this point. And I'm laughing about this because Buried in Earth is here. You can see that card. Literally buried in earth with a straw looking like it's like coming out of the ground. I'll have to like look into the symbolism. Maybe I should try that. But I think this is collectively there's this energy of wanting to shift, wanting to change, wanting to feel replenished, reborn. There's a huge need for rest collectively, and I have absolutely been feeling this myself. I have really been also challenging my mindset and this like need to continuously be doing and creating, like I'm in a hurry to prove something. And yeah, I've been resisting the rest and still not being productive, and so then getting frustrated with myself. So lately, especially this past month of July, knowing that breathwork, the seminar is coming, I was like, I need to intentionally slow down and like prepare for this and just allow this kind of rest, to normalize this rest and make this time sacred. And I think that is absolutely mirrored in the collective. The people that are showing up for this especially are really feeling that call. And I see that for everyone that comes into this space, comes to art classes, these workshops, or just connects with the network and, you know, connects in session. I see it. People just need this time to be replenished, and truly by each other and the earth. There's a lot of themes around nature here, but also council, right? Lodge, gather for advice. How are we gathering collectively to invest in our wellness in this rest? Because when we're in spaces with others who are just as invested in their well-being, that is healing. That's a powerful mirror back to us. And the conversations that open up and the connections that open up in that space are powerful. So that is absolutely here. And this is like a rest for the soul. This is like spiritual rest. It's not just the mental and the physical like rest that we need from the stress and the busyness of the mundane. This is like on a spiritual, energetic soul level. Coming back to the earth is a theme here, a huge theme that I'm picking up on, so that your energy can be restored and you can continue to move forward feeling aligned. Move forward with your alignment. If you're feeling like a lot of things in your life are not aligning, or there's a lot of dissonance and challenge in your life, maybe it's an invitation for you to take a step back into rest and conscious community and counsel and restore yourself so that you can move forward with more clarity. Because burnout is not the way forward. Nothing will be accomplished, and this burnout may be a result of you choosing and behaving and moving in your life out of alignment. And that's not a judgment, that's an observation that there's an opportunity for realignment. And for some of us, that realignment could happen after a therapy session or after a sound bath, but I think for a lot of us, there's something that needs to be a little bit more sustained and like created, built into our life, our daily life, normalizing. Like this is where I'm finding my alignment, is in my wellness and my well-being. What message do you have for the collective? So I see that. I do feel like there's a big call back to nature, but I myself feel like I need to connect more to nature for clarity, to have a little bit more understanding of these natural rhythms. This comes from a place too, I think collectively, of wanting to have clarity, and because there is so much confusion, there's so much information available, there's so many paths available, we could do so many things, and I feel like there is a need to simplify and to choose maybe the things that feel the most clear, to navigate what do we have clarity about and how can we move toward those areas of our life. Yeah. Embrace stillness. It's really beautiful, and it's really hard for me to do that personally. We need to be still, and we need to release the things that we're holding on to. Getting there is a whole different story, right? Because we live such hectic lives, influenced constantly by things around us. We have access to information constantly, and everything is happening all at once all the time, and the more information that we have access to at one time, it makes it hard to focus on one thing. And so the advice is to come back to stillness. Slow down and be present in the moment, because this is where everything is created from right now. And the question begs you to ask, what are you creating? What have you been creating? And are you enjoying it? How does this life feel to you right now? If you're burnt out, then Spirit is gently asking you to take a step back and be still and adjust so that you can come back into alignment. And for some of us, when we really slow down and look at our lives and be in our stillness, we may realize that a lot in our life has to change. For some of us, our lives are changing drastically right now. This is like collectively happening, and for each of us, it's looking differently. It might feel more drastic for some than others, right? For some, it could be a divorce. For some, it could be taking a break and going to a 6-day breathwork seminar. For some, it's starting to make a decision now, making decisions now that are more in alignment with the future that you want to have, rather than participating in old patterns in whatever way that that's showing up for you. So lots can change because you change. You create your reality based off of what you want to focus on right now in the moment. Yeah, okay. So the only thing stopping you from having the things that you want is your mindset. I'm laughing in response to that because there's a part of me that's just like, shut up. like no, it's not me, it's everyone else. No, bitch, it's you. It's me. It's me. Yeah, I'm the problem, it's me. Everything you want is on the other side of your fear. And that is a conscious journey that collectively we're going on, right? We are in this together, realizing that everything that we want, that ease, is on the other side of fear. When we are in breathwork sessions, I see people oftentimes having a hard time breathing into their belly. So many of us are living here in the chest, and that means that we are living in our minds, completely living in our minds, just predicting and trying to predict the future to have control over our experience, because we don't want to fall into these patterns again. We don't want to be hurt. We want something different, but we are trying to create that with our minds when our minds are so powerful, but we can stay in these loops. And when we are in these fear loops of trying to be always predicting and protecting ourselves because we're afraid of being hurt, afraid of danger, that dysregulated nervous system, whether you realize it or not, some of us are not conscious of this. We live in these fear loops, these long-lasting, recurring, painful patterns. And I see it in breathwork all the time. People not able to breathe into their belly. Women not being able to breathe all the way into their womb. And I lovingly say in session, right, breathe with your coochie. Like, that is a full breath. Breathing all the way down into your womb. Filling your belly first, filling up like a cup, filling the chest, and then letting the exhale fall with ease. But a lot of people can't even get there. A lot of people can't breathe into their belly. Consciously, they have to force it, and it's really challenging. A lot of us are breathing backwards, breathing into the chest and then the belly, and then exhaling. Women, for a long time, I don't know about you, but I was told this growing up. Suck it in. Keep that belly tucked in, right? When it's keeping us from breathing and fully embodying ourselves. When we can't breathe past our diaphragm, that's called the fear belt, and it can block breath from moving into the belly. And a lot of us are living here. I see it every single day. I've been there. I catch myself even still. If I'm like ruminating again about something, I'm conscious, then I become conscious of my breath, and I take a full breath. My body like craves it. It needs it. All of that oxygen. Anyway, collectively, we are learning that everything that we want is outside of our fear, but also success, true celebration and success may not look like what we think it will, because it's not about so much of what it looks like. It's going to be how it feels in our body. It's an experience that we have. It is not a checklist that we master, okay? It is an embodied experience. And this is where the breakthrough comes in. When you recognize that you can have a full flowing breath, when you can connect to yourself holistically, you are going to become aware of all of the things that you denied yourself. Pleasure, ease, joy, breath, okay? And the more we can be embodied in ourselves, we are going to have profound breakthroughs and experiences of understanding everything that we're capable of. And when you notice that, and when you learn that and see that in yourself, you're going to realize maybe how limited you've kept yourself. And this is why community and counsel is important, because we have to forgive ourselves for that. We didn't know any better until we arrived here in the present moment with our breath. It's really that simple. I just really think it's that simple. And this whole reading feels like a loving invitation back to the understanding and believing that it can be that easy. Like being yourself And being at ease in your body and connected to your calm can be that easy, and it takes practice, because what that requires you to do is really look at yourself where you're at and accept it, and allow yourself to come back to that breath every time. Allow yourself to come back to yourself, becoming home for yourself. And we hold each other accountable in groups, celebrating this arrival to power, to embodiment. Like, welcome to the present moment, Jill. You've been anxiously ruminating about this X, Y, and Z forever. And now that you've just allowed yourself to arrive and be here and be calm, you are now participating in the life that you've created. And you get to take stock of that reality. Do you like how you feel in this moment? Or do we need to make some changes so that you can bring more flow into your life, so that you can fully show up in your life? And sometimes that journey takes a while, because we really believe the stories that we've been told. We really believe these like inner limiting beliefs that we inherited, right? We hold on to traumatic experiences and these challenging emotions. They almost become this security blanket. It's a known. So to think that you can have a different experience feels kind of scary, because what does that mean? You have to let go of the old beliefs that you had that actually limited you and kept you stuck. So this liberation of energy, freeing your mind, opening your mind and your consciousness, and allowing your breath to flow, a lot might change for you. And that's also the point. And so if you're afraid of how things will change, what if you could know and trust that the future is bright, that all is well, that the best is yet to come, and all because you took a really deep, loving breath. Something about this feels so basic and so profound, but I think it's quite simple. These little micro shifts that we make, if you feel stuck in your life, if you feel stuck in these loops and these patterns, if you feel some type of way about yourself that is less than desirable, there's another way of being, there's another way of experiencing life, there's another way, and it's safe for you to let go. It's safe for you to let go of that old story. It's safe for you to let go of those burdens. It's safe for you to let go of that regret, that shame, the guilt, the old identity, the stories that someone told you. Sorry, I thought I heard a weird noise. It's safe to let it go. What advice or guidance do we have for the collective here? What advice or guidance do we have for the collective? Yeah, there's this new wave of energy here. Ride your inspiration. Just ride it. See what happens when you follow your passion, you follow your inspiration, you follow your desire. It's kind of like it feels like a fuck around and find out, but like in a way that like you feel really connected to the joy and the confidence that you have in yourself in that moment, and follow that, right? When you feel connected to your confidence and your inspiration, follow it, because there are a lot of options. There's many different ways that you can manifest things moving forward, right? There are going to be a lot of options. Everything is happening all at once all the time, but there is something to be tangible here. There's something that can be very grounding, and I think that really mirrors like the energy in the initial spread too, this transference, this finding what's sustainable, right? What sustains you. We are choosing those things, right? So really getting into alignment of what that looks like for you. And you can do that through breathing, through stillness, through journaling, just through following joy and inspiration as it comes. Letting that energy sustain you, and then choosing these opportunities and paths, and recognizing the opportunities that come up that are going to feel grounded. And I think it's okay to like manage your boundaries so that you feel like you can, like there's this energy here that's like recognize what you have and know that it's valuable, and use your discernment and use your energy to like maybe it's time to kind of reserve your energy and see what opportunities are coming up as you are cultivating, as you are building and focused on the things that you are creating. Because and it's just about learning the balance, I think, between like hoarding and holding on too tightly, and also being open to support, right? Being open to opportunities that are going to at least match you in energy and intention. But I do feel like the future is bright. The sun, which is the source in this deck, and the 10 of coins, right? Abundance, generational wealth, sustainability in our experience, especially in community. Things that can be built, things that are built with a strong foundation. The foundation is being laid right now. So know that everything you put on top of this foundation, ask yourself, is this a part of the bigger picture? Is this a building block on the path ahead? Is this going to help me build stable walls for this long-term vision for my life. And so even in the uncertainty or the many options or the emotional kind of vision and fantasy of it all, can we hold that lightly and still choose these tangible things that are going to show up consistently to help build this? But this is absolutely about giving yourself permission to be seen and to move forward in a way that in your alignment so that you can attract the things that are building with you. And they are absolutely coming. The future is bright. So, but we have to allow ourselves to see it. The 5 of Swords, the 5 of Coins, and the 5 of Cups at the bottom of the deck, right? We have to move beyond the ego and the pride and the internal battles and the win-lose situations and the lack mindset and the feeling of grief and loss that comes. Like that in itself is a threshold. And I think a lot of us are crossing this threshold. We're moving past these conflicts, these limiting beliefs, and sometimes they feel the strongest as we are moving away from it. That is a test of the nervous system. Like helping your nervous system know that it can trust the leap into the unknown, right? Everything that's on the other side of your fear, your pride, your ego, your stress, and you will find that alignment, and the picture is becoming more clear. And there are some of us that need to take that step back and come back into the present, embrace stillness, lodge, be in counsel with people, in community, and rest deeply so that you can start to see the bigger picture here. Because there is so much more in front of you than what you've experienced. A big intention and prayer of mine lately is, show me how good it can get. Position me so that I can be in the right place at the right time. Show me how good it can get. Give me the courage to act and allow myself to be seen and heard so that I can continue to attract and align with what is going to sustain me in this vision, and not just for me, but for everyone involved. This is a collective building together. Shared joy and fulfillment. Show me how good it can be. And if you believe the future is bright, then you will find that to be true. And so I hope you choose that. I really do. I hope you choose that. This is the only Florida water that I will use. This is made by Tapped In Consciousness, my girl Priscilla, based out of Tampa, Florida. She makes a small batch Florida water, and this was made, but this Florida water she creates small batches, and this was made on the summer solstice. And I have them in stock right now at Ritual Space. If you're interested, let me know. I'll hook you up. But she makes the most high vibrational products. She is such a wise woman. She is truly an embodied woman on a spiritual path, and I have so much respect for her. Her energy is beautiful, and so I trust that you'll be able to feel that through the quality of this product. It is just such a high vibration, and I love it so much. I always have it in stock. I just got this restocked. This is the summer solstice small batch that she created, and it always helps me feel aligned. It helps me come back, calls my energy back to me, and keeps it safe and protected and cleared. And so if you're interested in that, definitely check her out. I'll have her tagged below, Priscilla at Tapped In Consciousness, and you can also find it here at Ritual Wellness Space. But thanks for letting me come on here and read. This is always fun. Cards are such a meaningful way for me to reflect for myself and to connect to my higher self, to a higher collective, a higher consciousness, and it helps me gain perspective so that I can just keep aligning with my highest timeline, the best, my most joyful existence. And so much healing is on this journey, so much consciousness awareness, and it never ends. The only destination is here in this moment, connecting to this breath, and we create everything else from right here. So let it be inspired, let it feel abundant. I hope you hold yourself to that regard where you know and understand that you deserve only the best. You deserve everything that you want simply because you want it, and you can have it, and it's all on the other side of our fear. So if you are looking for counsel, if you're looking for support, you know where to find me. You can find me at becominghomehealingco.com, and also on all platforms, really. I'm taking private sessions starting August 1st. I've closed my books so that I can fully immerse myself in this 2-week breathwork experience, and I will start seeing clients starting August 1st of 2026. I'm open to new clients, as I already kind of have the books filled with recurring clients, but I welcome you on this journey. If you're interested, there's a lot more breath and cards and life chats, I suppose, from here on out. But it feels good to be recording again. It feels good to be sharing these readings again and just yapping with you here on this platform, and just to be back in this space in such a meaningful way. So I love you so much. The future is bright. I will see you later.